Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome to our coffee times. Today I'm here to discuss with you the books that I have decided to put on my TBR pile for the month of June. So I have been struggling with my TBR piles because I want it to be a perfect mix, which it doesn't always work, but I want to keep up with some of my NetGalley books as well as with some new releases. And this month, because I have planned to read two kind of chunky books, I've decided to keep my TBR pile a little bit more realistic, and so I have chosen only a total of 8 books for this month. One of them belongs to my secret TBR pile that I am making throughout the whole year, so I'm only going to be talking about 7 books in this video. So I've decided to keep it only to those, and then if I have extra time I can always add books to the TBR pile, but because of the chunky books this month I don't want to stress myself out too much. So let's talk about those 7 books.
It's coffee time!
First, let's talk about the 2 NetGalley books that I'm going to be reading in the month of June. One of them is a new release for June 2020, and the other one is one that I had on my backlist. So the first one is called They Did Bad Things. This is an adult mystery thriller that I had on my radar anyways, and I talked about it on my June books video about all the June releases. So this is the story of 6 students that in 1995, they, in a party, after the aftermath of the party, one of them was found dead. So we go forward 20 years and they are all separately lured into a house with a secret kind of invitation, and once they get there they're surprised to see each other after all the time that has passed, and they are suddenly trapped in that house and they are not allowed to leave. So who has lured them into that house, and what happened to that student that died 20 years ago? And the other one is Dark Flowers. This is a YA mystery, kind of dark fantasy, and it just sounded so good to me. This is a Agatha School for Girls, which is nothing like a fairy tale. Like, the conditions that the girls are in are horrible, and so Eliza wants to escape together with her friend Millie, and they manage to escape, but what they don't know is that the swamps that are around that school are even darker, more dangerous than what they were expecting. And apparently in those swamps there are some fairies that they don't know if they can trust. I saw this in NetGalley, and even though it's not a new release, it really intrigued me and I really loved the cover, so I decided to get it and hopefully I'm gonna enjoy it. Now let's talk about 2 books that I'm going to be reading this month, because I'm going to be buddy reading them with other booktubers. The first book is The Toll by Neal Shusterman. I have been reading the trilogy with Ola, and I cannot wait to finish it with her. It's always fun to hear her perspective on things, and she's always a little bit more critic and a little bit more roasty, and it's so much fun. She always gives me that extra that I need when I'm reading these books, and I'm really excited to see how this is gonna end. It is also a pretty chunky book. Definitely the books are getting bigger as the trilogy progressed. So the 3rd book is really big. I'm hoping that it's gonna be action-packed, and I'm hoping it's gonna go out with a bang, but we shall see. I have really high hopes for this one just because the whole theme of the trilogy is something that always intrigued me. A futuristic world in which humankind has conquered disease and death and nobody dies by natural causes anymore, and so there is this job that is created called the Scythe, and these people are kind of the ones that decide who has to die. And it is such an amazing world building and such a daring kind of idea, so bold to put it out there also for YA readers, and I really loved the first book. I enjoyed the second one, so I'm hoping to love the 3rd one as well. The next one is Keel by Scott Thomas, and I'm going to be buddy reading this one with Jason. I'm super excited about that because we've never buddy read anything together, and I have been meaning to get to this book because I read Ballad, which is the 2nd book by the author, and really enjoyed it because it was very atmospheric, and everybody says Keel is so amazing. It's better and I should read it. And honestly, when you look at the premise, it's like 100% something that I would love. We have a bunch of authors that are being invited to spend the Halloween night at one of the most haunted houses, and while they're there, of course, supernatural creepy things start happening. So this sounds like the perfect story for me, and I am so intrigued and so pumped for this. It is not October, it's not Halloween, but I still really want to read it. The next one is one that everybody in BookTube has been reading, and it's not like I have fallen for the hype, it's just I was really expecting this book as well, and that is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. This is a prequel to the Hunger Games trilogy, a YA dystopian, and I really love the Hunger Games, the books and the movies, except the 30% of the last book, like the ending, no. But everything else I loved about it, and I still really enjoy it despite not being a huge fan of that ending. And when they were coming with a new book, I was kind of intrigued to see what kind of story we were gonna get. I know some people were expecting another kind of story and not to follow Snow's story and character arc, but I am somebody that really enjoys stories about villains and how they became the villain in the story. And so this is following him in his younger years. It is the 10th Hunger Games, and he has been chosen to be a mentor for the games. So I am hoping to see a lot of character arc and to get really to know him, because I felt like we didn't get to know him really well in the trilogy, in the original trilogy. I have managed to be spoiler free so far, and I'm kind of avoiding watching anybody that has been commenting on the book, because I want to go into it without knowing nothing and just see if I enjoy it for myself or not, and you know, not be biased because of other opinions that I have heard. So it is also a chunky book, but I am so excited about this one. We've waited so long for this, for a new Suzanne Collins book, that I'm really excited. The next one is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, because I have been meaning to get to this book and I still haven't, because I really do like his thrillers. And this is about somebody that gets the job as basically an apartment sitter in a complex building called Bartholomew, and he gets to meet these neighbor, Ingrid I believe is her name, and she starts to tell him that she's seeing things, hearing things, and he doesn't really take it seriously until she disappears, and then he starts an investigation for himself. I'm really excited because I do like how unexpected some of the twists in his books are, and I have heard this is so far his best thriller, so really excited to get to it. The last one is actually a YA mystery that I've had for a while on my shelves and I've never picked it up, and it's kind of short, so it fits perfectly for my June TBR, having a couple of other chunkier books, and that is Nothing But Blue by Lisa Jen Clow. So we have a 17-year-old girl that is walking down the road, and she doesn't seem to remember who she is, where she comes from, what happened to her, and maybe she just doesn't want to remember because everything is so traumatic that she doesn't want to, until she starts getting flashbacks of what happened to her, and she calls herself Blue because she doesn't remember her name. I'm just hoping it's gonna be interesting and new and fresh. I don't know, but it definitely intrigued me, and I definitely want to know who's this girl and what happened to her. So these were the 7 books plus the 8th one that I have for my secret TBR pile for the year that I'm going to be attempting to read in the month of June. I am really excited, and I hope to love all of these books, so pray for me, fingers crossed. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Please give the video a big thumbs up for support. Let me know down below what are you planning to read in the month of June, and if you want to follow me on the social media, the links as always are down below, and I hope to see you all guys in the next coffee time. Bye!